clicking, right? The brakes and the safety back like failed, and that thing went shooting back into the start. It like went up the hill and then went back down. It sounds funny, and I started laughing first because you think they're just like, oh, okay, we're back here.
There they go. Yeah.
What happened is they derailed, and people on the back one, like so many kids passed away because it derailed because it didn't have the brake system, so it was just free going, and it just shot off the tracks.
Oh my God! You're giving every listener we have
the swings you kept kicking me on.
Hold on, and now I got to tell y'all, people. If we own the swings, they say not to kick people, but that shit's fun. If you just get a little momentum, you can take out some people. I was trying to kick her in midair, man.
She did, and actually, Jay, like your husband told me about this one. The ring at the top, the big ring that holds all of them, fell. And all of them fell down. You think it's just a small drop, but when you think about the momentum and how it is, it like kept bouncing, and it just cut people up like a shredder.
What the fuck have you done to our show? You just took it from...
I have been up all night watching this shit, man.
You got bags under your eyes and shit, and they're dark.
I'm serious.
God, you look like y'all cracked out. Goodness. People, don't look... God darn... I don't even know where... I tell you what, we'll talk about my delightful topic now. Holy shit, Ashley. We have actually went over an hour, people, because I can't get all of her schizophrenic feelings into 1 hour. I got... All right. Good God of mercy. Why didn't you keep that? You got to keep that swings thing to yourself. Now I'm going to be afraid of that.
Stop fucking kicking me off. I knew something was bad.
I was kicking you out of the way, bitch. That's all I got to say. Anyway, so what I wanted to touch on, which is probably one of the more famous amusement parks that has been completely abandoned. And this is the reason. It's called the Chernobyl Amusement Park. This thing was actually where it was beside is the Chernobyl disaster. If y'all have ever heard of that, it was a nuclear plant that was actually in Russia, and it had an explosion and stuff like that. So then they had to evacuate this town that was all the workers. If you've ever watched the Chernobyl Diaries, it's a scary movie. Pretty much the beginning of that, I mean, that shows you what, what happened. Everything was contaminated with radiation and stuff like that. But during this time, they were building a park. When they were building the park, it was supposed to open in May, but actually opened in April just for one day. And that was the evacuation day of all the residents there. Actually, the plant blew up, and then the next day is when they got everybody out. I guess they thought that it would be okay. I'm not for sure why. But they opened the park just to give them some comfort, as in, okay, you're getting on these buses and stuff like that, and just have a second they saw the rides and stuff going. And that was it. They got out. I mean, when you go back now, they do give tours now because the radiation is still so high.
Some days it's lower than the other, and the days that they're lower with the other, they allow you on. They have, the meter you were saying.
Yeah, they have a radiation meter. But it's all regulated by the government. Now, the paranormal part in that is that I know that you have heard us talk, and we talked about Lake Shawnee a little bit earlier. But the part that we also wanted to talk on was the Mothman. Now, the Mothman theory in West Virginia is that this is a bird-like animal or man. It could even be Indian. It's got red, piercing eyes. Or alien. We went down the aspect of alien and stuff like that. But he showed up so much before this big bridge collapsed. And really, really check into it, guys. I think we touched on the Mothman in the West Virginia episode. Really, really cool. Maybe even in the Men in Black also episodes that we did. But the thing is that they believe that the equivalent of that actually happened in Russia. I stumbled across this, and he was actually called, hold on one second. He was actually called the Blackbird of Chernobyl. And the thing is they kept seeing him. The workers would see him. They said he was 3 or 4 foot tall. He had a big span, red eyes, the same description as the one in West Virginia. They said that the workers of this plant would see him before the plant actually exploded and stuff like that. So they would see him around and stuff like that. And then they would give it would give them nightmares. Another thing is they would get these phone calls, kind of like the same thing in West Virginia where they would get these random crazy ass phone calls. Well, people started getting that also. And this happened a little bit before. And people just thought they were crazy. One, well, I will tell you what my theory is after this. But one thing is the workers just kept, seeing these things. Well, when the initial blast and stuff like that happened, they say that they could see him, this bird creature, actually flying through the bellows of smoke and stuff like that from the reactor. But they said that was the last time they seen him, is when it exploded and stuff like that. But they had been seeing him, I think, like weeks before. So the thing is people are like, well, there's a big crow. Maybe they just got it mixed up. But that doesn't actually explain the phone calls, the nightmares, the things like that. So was the Mothman actually in Russia? Who the hell knows? But I was thinking maybe it had a radiation leak before that. But
then it got to some bird or something?
Yeah, or either a bird or maybe it got to the workers that they were seeing stuff. But then how many workers saw this? They said there was several of them.
Well, I mean, this is a lot of radiation that went over certain areas that had to be evacuated. Like
they were talking about how they actually brought in helicopters, I guess, to take pictures and stuff like that. And the guys in the helicopters actually died days afterwards. And that was one of them that said, hey, I saw this bird in this bellow of smoke and stuff like that. And he's pretty damn big and stuff. So, I mean, they said the only way that anybody would ever know if it's the same one, if people are still living, which I don't, is for another disaster to happen and if he shows up and stuff like that.
It wasn't that long ago that this happened, though.
Oh, I know. That's really crazy.
So they would still likely be alive unless it was the radiation that got to him.
I don't know. But, I mean, was he the cause of it? Or was he trying to warn? Just like the questions that they have in West Virginia. But I tell you what, this has been a delightful show. The amusement park is still there. They do take rides through, not as in amusement rides, but you get to go through and look. Actually, the flyer that we made tonight was a picture of the Chernobyl theme park and stuff like that they had there. And I just want to tell you guys, thank you for listening in. Ashley and all her craziness and all her stories, I hope that you're not too scared to take your damn children to a theme park now. But if so, let's cross that first one off the list of getting damn drunk, Ashley. You can't get drunk every time you go. Although from now on, I guess everybody who listens to this program will have to be able to ride these damn rides. I do believe I found delight in that little raccoon riding down that slide. I mean, and all that shit, I did find delight in that raccoon.
Yes.
But anyway, guys, I want to talk about good booze really quick before we go. And remember that we are going to be, July 11th, we're going to be at the Pearisburg Theater with Red Moon Society, and we are going to be doing a meet and greet. We're going to give a little seminar, tell you a little bit about ghost hunting, and then you get to ghost hunt. Only $25 goes for the great Paris Theater, which helps with renovations and things like that. So, guys, if you're in the area, please, please, please stop by. If you need info, we will put it on our Facebook page, which is Paranormal Party, and also we will put it out there I'll share the flyer and stuff like that with you. So if you have any questions, get in touch with us on Paranormal Party. Also, we are going to be going to WivaCon also in July, and I think that's July 25th. That is a great con, people. If you don't know about that, that's in Withville. Come on out. Get your geek on, baby. I tell you, there's going to be all kinds of shit, from games to paranormal parties to all that kind of stuff. But we want to say thank you for listening to our crazy antics, and damn it, don't be afraid to ride and enjoy life. Ashley, you crazy son of a bitch. And we just thank you for joining this big ass show of where the paranormal and the party meet, only on Spreaker and RFN. Thank you, baby.
Bye.